Peace, 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 family. I come to talk to the family today, man, just about what the title says. Are you with the person you like or and not the partner that you should be with? And I've as I look around in the society that we live in, it don't matter whether you black, white, Asian, I don't give a damn. It's like everybody's living a lie in this world, man. It's very few people in this world that's actually with their ideal mate or the person that they should be with. Uh, or if they with the person that they should be with, 95% of the time they taking that person for granted because that person wasn't their first choice. And the reason why you see divorce rates so high, um, children being born out of wedlock, and so many things. Because a lot of people, 90% of the time, we seek to get in relationships with people that we like from a physical aspect. It's kind of like, I was having a conversation with my brother Richie this morning, and we was having this talk, and I was telling him about my wife and my relationship with my wife, and he was talking about past relationships, and we were just having just a grown man talk, like just two men in their 40s looking back at our lives and looking back at the mistakes we made, the good things we made, some of the good women you may have had, some of the bad women you may have had. And a lot of times, whether you're a guy or a girl, you could be in a relationship with a guy, and he could be a great guy. He could be the guy that you prayed for, that you called out to the universe for, and the universe, whether you called out to Allah, the Most High, Muhammad, Buddha, Jesus, whatever. When you called out to the universe sent you your real mate. The universe sent you your partner. But because you can't see this person as being your ideal mate, because you're still stuck on Daryl, you keep overlooking this person. This person can be with you, and they can pay all kinds of bills. They could be good with the children that y'all had together, and the child you had coming into the relationship. But you would tend to take this person for granted and still fuck Daryl every now and then on Brad. See, you with Brandon, and Brandon is safe. Brandon is nice. Brandon he's okay in bed. He still brings you to orgasm, and he's a good listener. But he's not your physical attraction. He's not Daryl. You wish that Daryl had all the intangibles and all the things that Brandon brings to the table. But Daryl never has it. But in the relationship with Brandon, you overlook Brandon, or you always got one eye on Brandon and one eye over his shoulder at Daryl. Now, why am I saying this? Because this is the gist of most relationships. So now let's go to the guy. The guy, he likes Rashida. Rashida is very pretty. She got the long, pretty hair. She got the fat, juicy ass. That jiggle when she walk. She's something that every nigga like and every nigga want. And you so lucky to luck up and get with Rashida. But Rashida is a fucking pain in the ass and a headache. She costs you a lot of money, and you're not her first priority. You're not top priority to Rashida, because Rashida has 1,000 other niggas just like you that want her. Now, here you go. You got Sabrina over here, right? Sabrina like you. Sabrina, all you got to do is show up. Sabrina listens to you. Sabrina caters to your ego. She caters to your manly needs. Not just when you're giving her something, though. She does it because she's into you. She likes you. All these different things. But you keep overlooking Sabrina because you got to be with Rashida. Man, that thing with Rashida, boy. Man, oh my God. Nothing like Rashida, boy, sexually in the bed. But outside the bedroom, she's a fucking tyrant. And she drives you crazy, and you can't trust her. But you willing to put up with all of that shit because she got that fat ass, and you like to look at her naked. When you lay in the bed, or she laying across the bed in that thong, like you love all that. You love all that. Because Naima, this is your ideal from a physical aspect partner. Man, God, boy, I gotta be. Because see, your visual, I got to be with Rashida. And you never ever give Sabrina your all, or everything that Sabrina was supposed to get. But then you get, like my age, off into your 40s, and you telling your son, which is Sabrina's mom, you telling your son, man, I should have married your mom, man. Man, I made a lot of mistakes in my life, son. Don't make the mistakes I made. You telling your 18-year-old son now. Man, your mom was the best thing that ever happened to me, man. I messed it up, man. I was running around here chasing ratchet hoes. And then you telling your daughter, which is Rashida mom, man, I should have, man, your mom, man, you know, we used to battle. Because, see, you stayed so many years in the tug of war with Rashida because she was the physical. Where Sabrina didn't look as good as Rashida, but Sabrina was what you called out to the universe for. You asked the universe for a virtuous and pious and good woman, and the universe gave it to you. But it's your job to decipher which one is right for you. Now in relationships out here today, 90% of marriages and relationships are people that mostly, a lot of you have good mates, but the relationships are miserable because you never ever give the relationship the chance that it should get because you're too busy still chasing Daryl or still chasing Rashida. See, most of y'all come into relationships and you're not virgins. You've had the shit fucked out of you before you got with Brandon. So you know what it's like to have good sex already. You know what it's like to be with a guy that you're attracted to. But that guy that you're with, that you're physically attracted to, he ain't shit. He may be abusive. He may be a habitual cheater. You know that you can't sustain happiness. So you give Brandon a chance. Brandon listens to your jokes. Brandon listens to you when you like to ramble on and all these different things. See, because I'm going to tell you, when Brandon saw you, you was his ideal mate. Brandon was sitting in the car and saw you walk by and said, oh my God. Brandon was standing in line waiting to pay for a hoagie at Wawa. And he saw you and he said, Lord Jesus. Brandon was standing at the ATM machine waiting to get $20 out of the ATM and he saw you. And Brandon was willing to do whatever it takes to be in your presence, to get with you and be with you. And you saw that in Brandon, knowing you didn't get that in Daryl, so you said, damn, you know what? I like Brandon. Brandon listens to me. Brandon takes me out. Brandon is good with my son. Brandon has all these intangibles. But all those things that Brandon had didn't stop you from fucking Daryl still. On the days you said you work overtime, on your break, when your shift was over and it was a 2.5, 3.5 down period before your overtime hours start, you go fuck Daryl. Daryl got a woman too, though, that he cheats on. Because, see, Daryl is the equivalent to that woman who has 1,000 options. Daryl is the 6'5", dark-skinned dude with the bald head, with the nice body, that he got 1,000 options of other bitches. And Daryl, you like Daryl physically and sexually. You like Brandon sexually too, but he ain't Daryl. So you never can give Daryl, your best or all of what Daryl earned or what Daryl should get, because you're too in tune. You never get Brandon this because you're too in tune with Daryl. And Daryl has a good woman that likes him, but Daryl has so many options that he can't give that woman the best of him. So what I'm trying to say is most people in relationships today like being lied to. They like being lied to because they're not being honest. They're not keeping it real. I believe, I use me as an example. I believe that, I'll tackle it this way. When I first met my wife or saw my wife, I was in a relationship with another woman. And this woman was attractive. She was cool. She, the thing was with this woman, she loved the ground I worked on, Omega. All I had to do was show up. Cook, clean. I'm talking about when you walk in the room, the eyes light up. She just happy I'm there. I could have been a stay-home nigga just all day and she go to work and just like she just loved me, right? But I wasn't into her like that. I wasn't into her the way she should have been into me. And that was always a problem Because she was good. Don't get me wrong. I had 3 girls in my life. I had my first love that I had when I was a teenager. This girl that I'm speaking about now, and then when I met my wife, right? And I'm gonna draw some scenarios so that way y'all can get this. Because some of this, you can attribute this to your life. Because this is going on in households across the world. This girl would do anything for me. And I like this girl. Don't get me wrong, Omega Naima. She was a good girl. We had good sex. She was fine. She was 5 years older than me. But the problem was, the first time I saw my wife, that relationship I had with that girl was over. It was a wrap. I was sitting in the car with my homie, and my wife to be that I'm with now, I was sitting in the parking lot at church with my homeboy, and my wife that I'm with now, my wife to be, walked past our car with her girlfriend, and my homie, I was in the car, he about a 6'6" dark-skinned nigga, and my wife was with this red bone chick, her best friend. And he said, God damn, you see them girls? And I was doing something in the car. I looked down, I looked up, and I looked past the red bone and seen the tall girl. And I said, yo, I'm going to get her. And he said, nigga, you can't get her. She like 5'11". Nigga, you like 5'7". She going to look down on you and tell you to get the hell on. That's exactly what he said to me. And I said, Doug, I'm going to get her. I got out the car, and I walked past them, and I stood in front of her. And I'm looking, and I'm thinking away, what should I say, how I'm going to say it, but I ain't had a heart to say it. But I told you I'm still in a relationship, though. But I saw this girl, and this girl was, from a physical, my ideal mate. I'm a short guy, I always like tall women, because the girl I was with was a tall girl, too. She was 5'10". I like tall girls. And this was, now I'm seeing this girl, and I would go, she would come to the church, but what I didn't know was she was good friends with my sister. And my daughter, with my sister, would go over to her house. Now, I didn't know none of this at the time. So now, while I'm with the other girl, I'm leaving her home in the mornings, and I'm driving down the road, and I would run into the girl who would become my wife every day. And I try to talk to this girl for at least 15 times, and she would shoot me down. One day, I'm with another girl, and I'm at my dad's house. We having a barbecue. And the girl that's my wife now walks in the house with my sister. And I say, damn, Lisa, you know her? She got, yeah, that's my girlfriend. Long story short, she found out that her girlfriend was my sister and my dad, and we ended up getting together, right? I ended up breaking up with the girl that I was with and getting with this new girl, which became my wife. Now, why am I saying all this, Naima? My wife physically was my ideal woman. The type, my type, what I want, you can shut the door, I'm good. But was I her ideal man? See, that's the thing, Naima. Was I my wife's ideal man? Once I saw her, did she see me the same way I saw her? Did I give her that tingle between her legs the way she gave me that tingle when I saw her? These are the questions that we should be asking. Because a lot of times we get caught up in relationships with, you find yourself doing more for the person physically, mentally, economically than this person's doing for you. Because you're with a person ideally from attraction, but is that the person you're supposed to be with? Was my wife the person that I was supposed to be with, despite her being my physical ideal partner? Just because she was my physical ideal partner, was she the partner that I was supposed to be with? See, these are the questions that y'all need to ask yourself. Nice ass, nice titties, tall, her own hair, all of that shit. But was she the person that I was supposed to be with? Well, she was the person that the universe lined up for George Macon to be with? These are the questions. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm back. See, I'm asking these questions and I'm using myself as the template and the example because y'all need to understand this stuff. Me and my wife went through good times and bad times, a lot of rocky things. When you get with this girl or guy and they're your physical ideal mate, you tend to overlook other things because he's tall, he has a huge cock, penis. He when we have sex, he sends me to Mars. He has a nice car. He's something that all the women want, and he's mine. But you find yourself sharing him because he may have these attributes, but is he your ideal mate? Hold on, wait a minute, 1 second. Put my phone on. Fix my phone real quick. Is he or she your ideal mate? Now, my wife had, and I'm gonna use myself as an example so you guys can see into your own worlds. My wife had a son coming into our relationship. I had my children. And her children's father was a short, dark-skinned dude like me. I'm brown-skinned. He's a short 5'7" dude like me. But seeing all her past boyfriends, every last one of them niggas was 6'5" to 6'7" to 7 foot. And I said, hold, wait a minute. God damn it. How the fuck is your children, both of your children, your children's father is my height, you with me in a relationship, but the nigga you was with before me was 6'10". The other nigga was 6'7". This nigga 6'6". I'm looking through your pictures and your yearbooks. None of them niggas look like me. None of them niggas look like me. So now I'm alarmed. I'm like, oh my God. Well, wait a minute. Who the fuck am I in this relationship? Am I the guy that, because she was my ideal mate, I listened to her. I had a shoulder for her to cry on. I was there for her because she was my ideal mate. She was broken, and I was the type of person that had the ability to make her whole again, but I wasn't her ideal physical mate because none of those guys from past relationships that I could look at old pictures look anything like me. Nor was they my height. So now I'm treading dangerous waters. Because she may like how I am to her and for her, but would that stop her from going after her ideal mate the same way I went after my ideal mate, which was her? Would that stop my wife from going after her ideal mate, which will be that 6'7" dark-skinned guy with the bald head with muscles, a foot taller than me? Would that stop my woman, which wasn't my wife at the time, from going after that guy? Because physically, that's what she's attracted to. That's what gives her that tingle between her legs. From what I'm seeing, right? From what I'm seeing. See, we got to be honest. We got to be real. Now, what was it about me that would make her say, I want to be with this guy. I want to answer all his calls. I want to introduce this little 5'7" nigga to my family. I want to bring my son around him. I want to do all these things. Where my attributes, the things that she always wanted, but my physicality wasn't there. See? These are the questions that you should be asking yourself. Now, right, alarming. But see, I'm gonna tell you, E-Love 11. Most people are not asking themselves these questions in a relationship. And right now I'm doing surgery. I'm doing surgery for a reason. And I'm putting myself out there. Just to let you know how real I'm being with the shit. So now, we would often clash. And I say, well, we get arguments early on in the relationship, and I'm, bitch, you don't want me anyway. I don't want nothing like that nigga you was with anyway. You want them niggas. Early on, I would be insecure. I would lose myself, and I was never an insecure person. But what I learned was over time, I grew a lot in that because I was a person that had money and 1,000 chicks. And I had hundreds of chicks that looked like my wife before. But I met my wife at a period of time when I was at a transition in my life. I was at the church. I was trying to abstain from the wicked ways of the world at the time. I was going through a mental metamorphosis. I was changing. And my wife met a different George Macon than the George Macon. When I was in the street, they used to call me Wig City. I was AC to KC, Nebraska to Alaska. That's what they call me. Because you could be in freaking the Bahamas or Cali, you'll see me. I'm everywhere. Ever something was popping, I was there. So they called me Wig City. My wife didn't meet that person. She met George Macon, the one at church trying to give my life to the Lord. I'm changing. And so I think that I met her in the transition period too, where she was going through some things and the spiritual element of her fell in love with me. Now, I still was hood. And the funny thing was, me and my wife grew up in the same hood, but we never met each other. All her friends was my friends. I lived on 58th Street. She lived on 60th Street. Some of her best friends were friends of mine that I grew up with, and I never met this woman. So I knew, by the grace of the Most High, that when I met my wife, I met her when I was supposed to meet her. I wasn't supposed to meet her when I was in the world. I met her when I was in the church trying to change my life. So the men she had from the world, as opposed to her coming into the church and meeting me, was different. And we met each other at a transition period in our life. And I remember the pastor of the church wouldn't marry us. He said we wasn't ready. He said that she wasn't the right woman for me. The pastor said. Her mother didn't like me at all. Her mother said I wasn't the ideal man for her daughter. Her brother, which is weird cool. Hold on a second. I just spoke her up. Hold on one second. I'm back. I done spoke my wife up. Yeah. Her brother, which is like 6'9", used to be like, he used to always laugh. He used to, we cool. We was always cool. But he used to always be like, how you make a baby with a 5'7" dude and then come and try to marry another 5'7" dude, but all your boyfriends is like my height? What the hell? So you want to breed with little niggas, but then be in relationships with, and that used to bother me. But as time went on, I was always a confident dude. I'm a Leo. I'm supremely confident, Leo, aggressive, over the top. I'm George Macon. I'm the shit. And I think that with her, she went through some things, and there was something different about me that she liked. Whereas though her girlfriend didn't like me, her mom didn't like me, the pastor didn't want us to be married. My aunt, before she passed away, didn't like her. My aunt said I don't like her. My aunt told me flat out, my aunt was my mom, because I told her I wasn't raised by my mama. My aunt was my mama before she passed away. My auntie said to me, which the woman that's my wife now, she doesn't like you like she doesn't like you like her. I don't like her for you. This is what my auntie said before she passed away. And I told her this. I said, my aunt don't like you. And she said, why? She said, because from a woman's aspect, I'm into you more than you're into me. You like me, but you don't like me like that. Like, you don't like me physically like that. Like, you like me, but you don't like me. And this is what my mama said, my auntie who's wrestling with the Most High now. And we went through our struggles, sci-fi, learning each other, getting to know ourselves, going through the ups and downs and the rigors of life. And everybody said our relationship wouldn't last 6 months. It's been 15 years, and we're still together. So when I looked at the numerology, my wife is a 3, born on a 3. Her birthday is February the 12th, so her born day is a 3. I'm born July the 30th. My born day is a 3. She's an Aquarius. I'm a Leo. We're the polar opposites, but opposites attract. We're polar opposite signs. She's an air sign. I'm a fire sign. Air makes more fire. My life path number is a number 6. Her life path number is a number 1. So we were compatible in all of these different aspects, right? Do you know that me and my wife used to stay up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning just talking about different things? And the day me and my wife finally got together, we got together, and I remember we had sex. And we was together every day for like 10 fucking years. Straight, like every day. Every day for like 10 years straight. But everybody said that we wouldn't be together and we weren't compatible. And I'm doing this stream because I want you to understand that, are you with the person that you should be with, or the person that you physically like? How long have you been in a relationship with this mate that y'all just in relationships where y'all roll over, have sex, the sex life is trash, y'all don't really get along, y'all got children, and you physically like this person at one time, but now you hate him because this was the person that you never was supposed to be with anyway. You just got with this person because you like this person. And you did all kinds of things for this man or this girl, and they took those things because you was willing to do it. And they stayed with you because you're the only person that they ever been with that was willing to do all that shit nobody else would. So Daryl, Big Dick Daryl, stay with you because you cater to him. You do everything he wants you to do. And he took you through hell, cheated on you, beat on you, did everything. But you just kept coming back because he was your ideal physical being. But you've been unhappy. But see, you seen Brandon getting on the bus for 10 years on your way to work, and you never gave Brandon the chance he deserved. Never gave Brandon the chance. Brandon tried to talk to you every day, but Brandon wasn't physically what you want, but the Most High was answering your prayer every day when you called out to the universe to send me a proper man, send me a good man that won't beat me, send me a good man that won't mistreat me, send me a good man that I can have children with, have a family with. And the Most High put Brandon in your face every day, and you overlooked Brandon for Daryl. You overlooked Brandon every day. Now Brandon's married. He's no longer on the bus stop. He's doing great. And you do things to try to get Brandon's attention, but Brandon don't want you no more. Brandon wanted you 12 years ago, but you overlooked Brandon. And you called out, you prayed for Brandon. And God gave him to you every day. He sent Brandon to your church. He sent Brandon to your job. He sent Brandon, you ran into Brandon at the Rite Aid. You ran into Brandon at McDonald's. You ran into Brandon at Great Adventures. But you overlooked Brandon because every time you ran into Brandon, you was with that fucking Daryl. And outside of fucking sex, Daryl gave you nothing. But Daryl was your ideal physical partner. But see, you gave Khadijah your all. You paid for classes. You paid mortgage. You bought her jewelry. You took her on trips. You ain't even bought your mama nothing. You took Khadijah on trips. You did all these different things for Khadijah. You bought her nice skirts and shoes because you like to look at that body. You like to look at that ass jiggle. You bought her thongs. You told her you want to wear thongs. You like to look at her lay on the bed with a thong on her ass and you like all that shit. She was super nasty. Did all kinds of nasty shit. You love motherfucking Khadijah. But Khadijah just liked you. She liked all the things you did for her. She liked the fact that you was willing to listen to her. She liked the fact that you would take her out. She liked the fact that you would make her number one, but you wasn't her physical attraction. With all those attributes that you brought to the table, that did not stop Daryl from fucking the shit out of her anytime he wanted. It didn't stop it. She gave you babies. She see all the things that she would want in the man outside of physical, you was. But that physicality and that man, that thing that make her tingle, you wasn't that man. So she would keep you, but she would cheat on you with that man and give her that tingle whenever she get a chance. And somehow deep down in your mind, you know this shit. But as long as you didn't catch her, you was willing to let it go. As long as you can have Khadijah in your bed. This is what's going on in relationships today. But see, most of y'all lying to yourself and you living a lie. You living a lie. Oh, what the hell picture is this? Oh man, where they get this picture of me from? Oh wow, look at me. I'm gonna download this picture and put it up there. Let me download this picture, man. You guys are living a lie. And I hope that somebody today can hear this message and really learn something. You can really question your marriage. You can really question, hold on, man, what the hell? You can question your relationship. You can question your relationship. Right? We need to be looking for more than physical attraction, but how many of us is looking for more than physical attraction? We can't get past the lust before we get to love. And see, the thing is, Katrina and Renee, you can have a friendship with this person. This person could be your best friend. This person could be a great guy or a great girl. They can have all the intangibles. But if he or she does not have that physical tangible that gets your attention, if you're not mature enough in your immaturity, you will still take that best friend for granted. This is why they have songs like, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to get here. Nobody's supposed to be here. And all these different things. Because when you pray for something, most of our people don't even have the foresight to recognize that the prayer is answered in that person that's being delivered to you. Because you can't see past your lust or your physical attraction. Physical attraction is overrated because 90% of the time when you pick for physical attraction, it's the wrong person. It's the person that you should not be with. It's always the unexpected. It's always what you're not looking for. Because when you get what you're looking for, it's 90% of the time, it's not what you're supposed to have. Because most of our physical attraction is dialed up by what we see in society or what's being taught to us. Most of the time. These are the things that Brother George Hold on. Okay, yeah, I can do it now. These are the things that Brother George is trying to tell y'all today. But how many of you guys out there are in relationships where you're miserable? You've been with this person 10 years. And you looked over while they was asleep and you said, I can't stand this motherfucker. Or you thinking back at some of your past partners and you like, why the fuck did I ever leave him for this nigga? Or why did I ever leave her for her? I can't believe I did this. This was the worst mistake of my life. The only thing that came out of this is my child. How many of y'all can really say this? How many of y'all are in relationships with people that you're physically attracted to, but you know that that's not who you should have been with? How many of y'all are in your 40s and you've been like, man, if I was with this girl right here, I would have been a millionaire, because this girl would have took care of me and this girl would have made sure that I made all the right decisions, because I would have been a top priority. I would have been a top priority to this girl. What the hell? This damn thing act crazy, man. Yeah, I would have been a top priority to this woman. And this is the stuff. This is the stuff that goes on. This is the stuff that's going on out here in relationships. And nobody's being honest or keeping it real with themselves. Look, did I send this shit? Okay, hold on. Let's see if it's sent it. Wait a minute. I was trying to email something. Nobody's being honest with themselves. And you think, as a man, you might have put, I gotta be real because we all adults, you might have dropped 10 inches plus balls in this woman every night. Got her doing a Harlem Shake. But if you ain't her ideal mate physically, she still can have the capacity and the ability to cheat on you with that person that is. Or while she's standing in line waiting to get a hold of you, there's a guy standing behind her, or there's a guy that say, excuse me, and she look up at him and say, God damn. The same way we do with women. She look up at him and say, God damn. And she say to herself, man, if I wasn't with Brandon, oh my God, I'd let this nigga destroy me. Then she start thinking about ways of letting him do it. She say, God damn. Women, listen, women cheat more than men do. Because for every man that's a dog, there's a woman providing a service. If a man is a dog and he's fucking a woman, he's fucking around, he's fucking a woman. So women cheat more than men do. And they ain't just fucking hoes or prostitutes. They fucking your girl. Your girl is fucking another nigga on her lunch break, on her day off, while you out of town, while you doing all these things, and she's fucking her physical ideal mate. While you're her ideal man to take care of all her needs. Women fuck. See, as men, we put our women on this high stature and separate her from the women that has capacity to be hoes now. This is my woman. Man, I love this girl. So now she's up on high. Whereas though your woman to another nigga that's just fucking her is just another hoe. He just fucking her, giving her head, shooting shit at all on her face and everything, sending her home to you, nigga. And you got her up on this high stature until you get your heart broke. See, the same way you cheat on your girl with some girl and you just treat her like a piece of ass or a piece of pussy, there's another dude fucking your woman and treating her the same way. See, you got your woman up on high, but you fucking around with the other chick and you just treat them like it's nothing. But that same guy that your girl cheating with, she's just a piece of pussy to him and you put her up on a high stature. So we all run around just lying to ourselves. Everybody fucking and sucking and looking and looking for that physical attraction and overlooking and taking for granted the person that you should be with. But if you walk in the room and you ask, well, who's in here is a whore? Raise your hand. Nobody in that room will raise their hand and say that they're a hoe. But when you do some digging You find out that they in counseling, and she crying. Please don't leave me, Brandon. I'm sorry. The babies are yours, and I just fucked up. And you're the greatest man I ever had, but it took me to come through this to realize it. I'm sorry, Brandon. I didn't mean to fuck Big Dick Daryl. I mean, Big Dick Daryl was a guy that I liked, and he was on my job, and we were going through trouble, Brandon, and we wasn't speaking for 2 weeks, and Big Dick Daryl showed up. I'm sorry I fucked Big Dick Daryl 17 times. 142 times since the 15 years we've been together. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fuck Big Dick Daryl. This is what she's saying to you. And you sitting there because she's your ideal mate. You're hurt, but you letting it slide. You're like, all right, baby, we're just going to go to counseling. We're going to try to make this work. And then she, in the back of her mind, she like, yes, damn, I dodged the big one. And that's what she's saying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just, we was going through some trouble, and he would come to me on my lunch break, and he would show up, and he would come to places, and one day, when I told you that me and the girlfriends, we went to Atlantic City for 2 days on a girls trip, Daryl showed up, and next thing you know, he said something, and his dick fell in me. You know how y'all women do when y'all caught, y'all lie. See, when we lie is the end of the world, but when y'all get caught, it's always about something we did wrong. I only fucked Daryl because you wasn't paying attention to me. You know how y'all do. It's not no. You fucked Daryl because you wanted to fuck Daryl. You made a choice to fuck Daryl. So Big Dick Daryl was piping you out for 10 years. And now I found out about it. So what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say, and I got to put some comedic value in it, but this is real talk. Why am I not getting the fucking email? What is going on? Oh, man, this shit. Hold on a second, man. Oh, God, man. Hold on a second. Why is this shit the email not coming to me? Oh, man, I can't win for fucking losing, boy, I tell you. Yeah, hold on. All right, I'm back. But then you go and you guys, hold on. What is in the draft? We go and we do the same thing. You with the girl, you with your girl, and you in a relationship with your wife. Y'all have children. She got the bank cards. The property's in her name because she's good to you. And she's good for you. Y'all got 3 children together. Y'all been together 15 years. But she got, she don't have the ass like Khadijah and the flat waist. She got a nice ass, nice titties. Y'all have good sex and stuff like that. But see, she ain't Khadijah. Khadijah, she just nasty. She sucked dick, lick balls at the same time, and she talk nasty to you. She dressed provocative. She's a challenge. Like she caters to your lust ego to the point where she has the ability to bypass all of those intangibles that your main girl got and have the ability to make you fuck up. She has the ability to make you fuck up. She's like that succubus. She's that. And she knows what she's doing. Yeah, y'all know it. Y'all women out here know it. Some of y'all out here, some of y'all watching probably her. You like, yeah, I know I could take that bitch, man. Yeah. He got a ring on his hand. He has a woman. He's committed to his family. He give all that thing. I'm gonna put this thing on Brandon. And Brandon gonna know who's gonna be in the motherfucking air. And I can get Brandon anytime I want. I'm gonna have Brandon cutting into the fucking bank, buying me red bottoms, sending me on trips, and all these different things. So now Brandon love his wife, but he love Khadijah too. So now he juggling 2 women at the same time. But Khadijah got other motherfucking niggas. Because she's the pick, so-called, from a physical aspect, she's the pick of the litter. And you're too stupid to realize this shit. So you're compromising your family, the respect of your son, because you hurting his mother for fucking Khadijah. Because you can't get past that back shot. It's crazy. Watching her walk around the house in the thong is crazy. Her physical is just amazing. She's amazing. And you would take her over your wife if she had all the intangibles that your wife had. Because you're not smart enough to see the blessings that the Most High done gave you. The Most High said, I'm going to give you a good woman and a family that you can sustain and hold down. But it's going to be your choice whether you want to respect it or hold it down. It's going to be your choice. It's going to be your choice. Do you want to respect the woman that you have, the family you have? It's up to you. It's going to be up to you. You got a choice to make. And this is the stuff that's going on inside households across America. Across America. This is the stuff that's going on in households across America. And I'm just trying to tell everybody. 1 second, wait, let me shit come in. There we go. Now let's see if I can email it now to myself. All right. Yeah, this is the stuff that's going on in the households across America, man. Everybody's cheating. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy. Everybody's taking each other for granted. How many of y'all can say that you've been in a relationship where you fully gave is monogamy our natural state? That's a good question, Doug. Is it? Or do we have the ability to be monogamous, but when the Most High sends us our blessings, we keep overlooking our blessings because we can't get past our lustful those lustful demons that we have inside of us, knowing that it just feels good, but it's not good for us. It's not good to us. How many of us the fucked around with the girl? She got the best pussy in the world, best looking body in the world, best looking face in the world, but the bitch ain't shit. And outside of sex, you can't trust that bitch as far as she can go. You can't even trust her when you can see her, because you already know what it is. How many of us had them kind of girls? How many of y'all had the kind of men that, man, the man give you the dick of life, but you can't trust that nigga as far as you see? Or he just a fucking bum. We all been there. But for some reason, we know all this shit, but we'll still fuck over the good guy and the good relationships that we make with the other person for that person. Why? Why do you risk it all for this person? But then you come on here and say, men ain't shit. These men ain't shit. I'm tired of these niggas. These niggas out here, and I'm like, no, this is the nigga that you chose. This is the nigga that you keep saying yes to. Where the fuck is Richie? This nigga never. Oh man, I can't email myself. What the fuck's going on? Why am I not getting my emails? There's always something going on. And we have to check the moral character, Deadshot, of everybody. You should go home and have a conversation with your partner today. You should go home and have a conversation with your wife. You should go home and have a conversation. Ask your wife or your husband, say, baby, am I your ideal mate? No, and see, before they answer the question, stop them right in their tracks and say, I ain't say because I pay bills. Am I your physical ideal mate? Ask him that. Have that conversation with him. Say, not because of what I do for you, but when you see me, do I give you that tingle? When I walk in the room, does your eyes light up? When you're laying in the bed and you're doing yourself while I'm at work or I'm not home, are you thinking about me? Or are you thinking about Dell or Claude or Sharif, your past partner? See, these are real questions. See, we don't ask that question. When you're in the bed and you're getting it in alone, when I'm not there, you're getting one off. Are you thinking about the way we had sex? Or are you thinking about past sexual partners? Get yourself off. Ask him that though. When you ain't around and he getting one off for the team, is he thinking about you? Or is he thinking about Khadijah? Is he thinking about Belinda? See, it's questions you gotta ask. Even when y'all having sex, or he on top of you, then you gotta think about down while your husband's on top of you just for you to climax. That's a fucking problem. It may not be a big deal to you, but I'm trying to, when you want to know why people are out here cheating, and why relationships, people's not just spontaneously cheating like that. People are cheating with their ideal physical mates. And they'll blow every fucking thing. They'll blow everything just to get a piece of their ideal physical mate. I can't even get this shit. I was trying to pull up a picture of me back in the day when I was a young boy, and I can't even pull it. For some reason, this fucking picture won't fucking email. It won't fucking email to me. I don't know why. Well, I can't email it to myself. Alright, let's try one more time. Address invalid. Oh. 1 second. Hopefully it emails this time. Yeah, it's a picture of me when I was a young boy on the beach. Yeah, but these are the questions. These are the questions that you really have to. Yeah, these are the questions. Yeah, I am. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself, because all I'm trying to say to y'all, man, you could be best friends with your girl, man. Y'all can have on the surface a great relationship, and that person can really love you, man. I really want you to, just because a person cheating on you don't mean that they don't love you, and it don't even mean that they're not in love with you at times. But if a person hasn't got to themselves to a place spiritually and mentally where they begin to understand that physical attraction is overrated, it's more to the intangibles of a relationship than just a physical attraction. If a person hasn't gotten to the point of that understanding, then you're in danger of the relationship that you're in with a person. And the person can come with you and make a family with you. They can do all these things with you, but that don't mean that they won't fuck up what they made. And if I'm wrong, look at society. Look at society, Katrina. Look at society 260 Technologies, Deadshot, Doug, Naima, Waxstar. Look at the societies. Everybody's running wild, man. Because most people go to church or go to the mosque and they pray, but they don't even understand sci-fi, the spirituality of what they're praying for. They still in this physical world, on a physical attraction. And I've learned that my relationship with my wife is more now than just physical attraction. It's a spiritual and mental attraction. On the way we met each other, how people said we wasn't supposed to be with each other, and the conversations and things that we have. Like my mother is an Aquarius. My mother, who didn't raise me, who was slipped to Mickey when I was a kid, And I used to grow up. I grew up sci-fi sitting in the mirror, sitting in the window for like 2 years, waiting for my mother to come home because nobody never told me that my mother got sick. I thought my mother just left us. I went to school, got a kiss from my mother, went to school, and when I came home, I never seen her again until I was grown, from 5 years old. So I grew up with all kinds of mommy issues and fucked up. And my mom's birthday is February 15th. My wife's birthday is February 12th. They both were Aquarius. And the woman that I saw that I wanted to be with just so happened to be an Aquarius, born 3 days before my mother. And I look at all those different things and these intangibles. And you have to know every aspect of your partner and don't be afraid to ask questions. And don't be afraid to have the real conversations. The real conversations is necessary. Yeah, something wrong. It's my oh, I know what it is. Oh, I can't get it. My fucking thing ain't loading. You can't be afraid. Damn. Am I still on? Okay. Yeah, you can't be afraid to have the real conversations, man. And most people don't want to have these real conversations. Oh shit. I'm in here fucking up everything. Yeah, most people don't want to have these real conversations. And this is why Tony Davis, this is why we running into trouble and you're getting the things that you get out here today in society. Most people aren't grounded in themselves. They don't have self-confidence. So they're afraid to ask these questions because if your wife tell you, well, I like how you are to me. I love the way you talk to me, but physically attract, wow. No, you wasn't my first choice. You was like my fourth. And I like, who the fuck want to hear that shit? Who the fuck want to hear that shit? But I think sci-fi, when you get in relationships with people, you got to know these things, Naeem. You got to know your husband. How many of y'all are married and don't even know your husband? Outside of surface level. Because y'all don't want to have real conversations because you're too insecure. How many of y'all really, like, you think you know your husband, but you don't know your husband? How many of y'all think you know your wife, but you don't know your wife because you got her on this high stature? It's fucking insane out here, man. The shit that's going on out here, man. The stuff that I'm seeing in relationships, man, with people in these relationships. And now you see motherfuckers, you be seeing niggas get mad and he be ready to the nigga done killed his wife because he found out his wife was cheating on him, but he didn't know his wife was cheating 5 years ago. Had he didn't took the time to look into it, he'd have been knew his wife was cheating. Out of sight, out of mind. People don't want to talk about it. Right? People don't want to talk about it. People or people know about it. People know about it, but they don't want to have a conversation. People know about it. They don't want to have a conversation because a lot of times, man, people be on. They feel like they on borrowed time in the relationship that they with in the relationship in the partner that they with. They don't want to have. Hold on a second. Brother Richie was supposed to come in. He never came in. I don't know why. They don't want to. They don't want to have a conversation. Got to talk about it. And I use myself as my wife. I don't think that I was my wife ideal mate because none of her mates, none of her partners or people she was with looked like me. So we would beef, and I would call her out on that shit. We would beef. We would go through it, and we went through shit. We went through stuff. We separated, got back together, did all. Listen, we went through a lot of shit in order to get to understanding with each other, and I would call shit out and put shit out on the table because I wasn't gonna be no sucker. How many of y'all dudes got the heart to do that shit? So that's like, I just wanted to just have a real conversation because I'm looking at society, and it's like people like being lied to, Katrina. Most people just like being lied to. They don't like the truth. They don't like nobody to tell them the truth. They don't like nobody. And I can't. I'm kind of mad, man. I can't get this thing to come up. They don't like people don't like being told truth about themselves, or it's kind of like you're in relationships with a man and you know your man ain't shit. You know your man ain't cheating, just as long as you don't know. Or you know your man is cheating, but you don't want the world to know. Or you know your woman ain't shit. I mean, like, how many guys that have been in relationships with girls where you know she got fucked by another nigga, but y'all worked it out, and you ain't gonna, as long as the world don't know, you stay with her. Thousands of niggas out here like that. Thousands of niggas. So I just think that be careful being with a person that's not your ideal mate. Be careful with a person that's your physical ideal mate, and they're not your 360-degree ideal mate. Meaning they got all the intangibles that you would need in order to sustain a relationship. How many people in relationships and have babies, and then the relationship don't work out? Next thing you know, you brothers has got 4 or 5 different baby moms with all different bitches with fat asses and big titties and good hair, but you couldn't sustain a relationship with none of them because none of them had the intangibles that you needed in order to sustain and maintain a relationship. They just had the physical attributes. How many of you girls got 3 different baby fathers? All them niggas dick you down, but they all wasn't shit. And the very dude that you should have been with, man, you overlooked it. You overlooked it. You overlooked your tomorrows, man. And this is the stuff. These are the questions. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to your partner. Why are you cheating on your? Why are you cheating on your man? I got 25 people watching me, right? I really should have more, but most people don't want to have this conversation. Ask yourself out there, why are you cheating on your man? You say you keep claiming you love your dude. You know, some of y'all actually in the room naked, about to suck your sex partner dick while you telling him about your problems in your relationship. Or you telling him about your man, and he laying there like, bitch, shut up and just come on, give me this thing, man, so I can send you back to your man. How many of y'all sitting there, you having conversations about the problem in your relationship while you fucking the other nigga? Yeah, duh. Life is full of sacrifices. We make sacrifices in life in order to maintain communities. See, without sacrifices, there's no community. Because if we run around just fucking and sucking anything, what are we teaching our children? What type of societies are we building? How can we build and sustain societies if there's no trust? If I can't trust the fact that if I walk away, you'll try to fuck my wife, or my wife will fuck you. Now we're trying to kill each other. What type of nations and communities, industries, generational wealth are we passing down with no type of monogamy? We got to have some type of responsibility in relationships. We got to have some type of responsibility. We got to have some type of good character over good sex. We got to have something. But how many of you are at your side piece house having a conversation about your wife or husband, naked in the bed, blowing the L, about to fuck them? That's the question you should ask yourself. You having conversations with your side nigga, sucking his dick, talking to him about your fucking husband who take care of you and do everything for you. How many of y'all out there doing that? You ain't gotta tell the truth in this chat room, but you know who you are. And those of you that have watched this video, you know who you are. How many of y'all are getting with your young girl? You know you wrong. She still desire to do it anyway. You know you got a good woman at home. You know if your 21-year-old son found out that you was cheating on his mama for no reason though, he would fucking hate you. But you still at 44 years old chasing down that 23-year-old, that 25-year-old, that 30-year-old. But you laying there knowing that if you get caught, Man, it's to fuck your whole life up, but you still desire to do it anyway. This is what I'm saying. I did this live stream to make some of you Negroes. I did this live stream to make some of you Negroes look at yourself in the mirror and know you have to make change. And know that you need to have your ideal mate need to have all the intangibles, not just the physical. Because most of the time the physical ain't what's good for you. And I listen to these live streams, and I listen to people argue about relationships. I listen to women talk about men ain't shit, and they got 4 or 5 different baby fathers, and they ain't figured it out at the baby father too. I heard niggas say these women ain't shit, but they all they want is big booty Khadijah. You didn't want Sharana or Sharon. You ain't want her, but she don't look as good as big booty Khadijah. She might got a little bit of weight to her. She might be dark skinned. She might have a fat ass, but not be as nasty as Khadijah. You want Khadijah. Khadijah is seductive too. She know how to seduce your ego. She's a fucking master at it. She knows how, when you walk in the door, she knows how to cater to your ego and make you feel like, man. Khadijah know how to fuck you on Monday, and on Wednesday you driving in your car and you can still feel that shit. You get the chill when you think about it. That's the power Khadijah got over you. Sharana don't do that. Sharana shows you how to secure the bag. Khadijah want to put her hand in the bag. Khadijah make you feel good. Khadijah fuck you so good on Monday. On Wednesday, you taking money out of the bag that your girl, your wife, secure for you to give to Khadijah. But you niggas out here living a lie. You're living a lie. Khadijah fucks your ego so good. You thinking about ways to leave Sharana and keep the bag so you can give it to Khadijah. But Khadijah got 100 other niggas just like you trapped in her fucking web. Trapped in her web. What's the question, Mr. High DF? Put the question in the chat. See, I'm gonna put it there. See, yeah, Khadijah. See, you got Brandon, and Brandon works hard securing the bag, taking the family trips to Cancun every summer, down to Miami, Jamaica, taking care of you and your mama, all the different needs. He does all these different things, but you never got past Daryl. You love your husband, but you love Daryl. Daryl ain't got to do none of that shit, but fuck you. Daryl fucks you on Monday, and on Wednesday when your husband at work, you fingering yourself thinking about Daryl. And ways that you can be with Daryl. And all these different things. You want to keep your husband, but you want to still fuck Daryl in the quiet, in the dark. This is what's going on. And if you the breadwinner, because it's Women's Liberation Day, you thinking about ways you can get away from your husband and get with Daryl. This is what's happening. So I just think I want y'all to take a look at yourselves in the mirror today. I want you to look at who you are in your relationship. Are you a piece of shit in your relationship? A cheating, no good piece of shit that's overlooking the good person that you got in your life? Or are you the person being taken advantage of because you are in a relationship with your physical ideal mate instead of the person that you should be with? You should ask yourself that question and stop blaming everybody else for your own shortcomings. Why do you want Daryl? What is the long-term impact? Right. I mean, I agree. But those are a lot of questions that women have to ask. See, because let me tell you something, women. Most of you women out here know that most of these women out here is hoes. But when guys call it out, women will protect other women. But I'm going to tell you women something in the chat room today. Most of y'all women got sons. And I'm going to tell you something. All these women out here that's doing this whole shit, when y'all got sons, they will do that same shit to your son. So y'all better call it out when you see it. Call out fuckery. These girls out here, your girlfriend, you know, got a good dude, and she going over fucking and sucking another nigga. That same fucking girl would be that same type of girl would be doing the same shit to your son, fucking up his marriage, fucking with his ego and his mind. So you better call that shit out. See, because it's cool, and you'll defend women fuckery until they do it to your sons. And I say the same thing with you niggas, you guys out there. You will endorse the fuckery until a nigga doing it to your daughter. So women, when you see this fuckery, call it out. Let me see. I'm married with a wife and a son. I don't trust my wife because I was molested by my older sister. She asked why I don't trust her. How can I tell her I was molested? If this is your wife, Mr. Ha, then before she even became your wife, y'all supposed to already been at a place where you can tell her these things, brother. You need to go down and have a sit down and conversation with your wife. But I'll give you something. I'll say this, Mr. Hyde. I was never molested before, but I went through psychological trauma with my mother not in my life. And I had a conversation with my wife where I said, I have never, ever felt. Watch this, sci-fi. I told my wife this. I have never, ever felt loved by a woman ever, except for one woman. And it wasn't my wife. It was the girl that was before my wife. That don't mean that I was in love with that woman, because I'm in love with my wife. But when I first got with my wife didn't make me feel loved like the girl that I was with before my wife. Because I had mommy issues and I had a problem with women, I've never in my life been with a woman that I felt like when I walk in the room, all I got to do is show up. This woman loves my sweat. If I did, I never could see it. I never could recognize it because I had mommy issues. No matter anything that a woman would do, it wasn't good enough. Because in my mind, if my own mother would leave me, bitch, what would you do if we ever had a fucking problem? She could have been sucking my dick sideways next to Susie. It still wasn't good enough. And the one that I was with before my wife, even though I wasn't physically all the way attracted to her, she catered to everything that I needed that a man would do. But see, my wife that I'm with now wasn't able to give me all those things because she had her own issues, sci-fi, growing up that impacted the way she viewed men. So here I am with my issues and my baggage that I'm bringing to the relationship, not realizing that this woman that's choosing me has her own baggage that she's bringing in from her past of things that detrimental things that happened to her when she wasn't able to give me what I needed that a woman should give a man because she had drastic things happen to her. But there was intangibles, sci-fi, that I carried that drew her to me that over time worked those things out. Brought those things, oh yeah. She could be sucking my dick sideways next to Susie. And it still wasn't good enough. I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, sci-fi, my ex-girlfriend physically was all over me and liked me. My wife, who I'm married to this day, didn't give me that. She didn't know how to give me that because outside of being promiscuous and sexual, she probably gave lust to other men. But what I was requiring from her, she didn't know how to give it to me. You understand what I'm saying, Sci-Fi? She didn't know how to psychologically give me her heart. See, a woman will give you her ass, but that don't mean she would give you her heart psychologically. That don't mean that she would psychologically connect to you because she's never learned how to do that. So my wife that I'm with today had to learn how to do that. And me, with the issues that I had, I required that. And when I didn't get that from a woman, that was a problem. Because I had mommy issues and I needed to be catered to. I needed my ego to be catered to. I needed my ego to be stroked. I needed to be, as a man, I needed the woman to love on me because I never had a woman to love on me the way that a boy should have been loved on from his mother. I never had that because I never had a mother. I had a father. So I seek that, or I sought that in a woman. But see, how many of y'all having these real conversations? How many of y'all really know your partner? How many of y'all really know where your partner comes from, their upbringing, what they've been through? Like extra large. Hold on for a second, y'all. My wife calling me again. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm back. See. Now y'all got me preaching. Now y'all got Bishop Break Yourself then came out. Now I'm ministering, Doug. Now I'm preaching because a lot of you have baggage that you don't realize you have. A lot of you have daddy issues. Guys too, you grew up without your father. You grew up without your father in your life, whether you're a girl or guy. And it's certain things that you require in a relationship that you're not getting from your partner. So you're going out and you're sleeping around searching for those requirements. So now you're going from bed to bed to bed to bed to bed, searching for this requirement that you never got, that you should have gotten when you were growing up. So now when you get in a relationship, you know how to look for it. And this is how guys end up having multiple baby mamas. Because you're searching for an affection and love that you never got from your mama. You run into these different guys because you're searching for a daddy's love or a masculine love that you never gotten from your father. So when I got with my wife, even though I was physically attracted to her, from a physical aspect, dreams of having sex with her. I had to have this woman. But this woman did not know how to cater to my ego as a man because she never was trained to do it. She had to learn how to do it. So in our marriage and our relationship, we had a lot of ups and downs. And at the same time, because I never had a mother, I was ill-equipped to cater to the things that she needed psychologically. Because I was too busy wanting her to cater to me. So I didn't know, it wasn't reciprocal. I did not know how to give it back to her. So now we were in a relationship where we were just having sex. But outside the sex, there was nothing. There was chaos. We probably was cheating on each other. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Do you know yourself while you're in the relationship to know what your requirements are? And I'm not talking about sexual or monetary. Do you know what your requirements are psychologically from a psychological aspect of what you would need from a woman? Do you even know it? Because if you don't, why are you in a relationship? Any of us can see the physical, but do you know psychologically what your requirements are based off of your upbringing and who you are today? Because if you don't know these things, then why are you in a relationship? Your relationship is going to end bad, and the children are going to be psychologically affected by it. So here I am in a relationship before my wife with a girl. Now, mind you, I've been in love 3 times in my 40-something years of living. I had my teenage love, and the girl right before my wife, and then my wife. My teenage love girl, she had the ability to make me cheat on every girl I've ever been with. My teenage love. Until I met my wife. My wife that I'm with now. But my teenage love was the Khadijah. My teenage love girl was the dark-skinned girl with the fat ass and big titties, and we grew up together. Did all kinds of sexual things growing up together, and I just had to have her. I lust after her. I wouldn't give a fuck. I could have been talking to Rihanna. I would have left Rihanna right there to run to this girl. I had to be with this girl growing up. And she moved out of state. And every time she got a boyfriend, I still would get her to cheat on her boyfriend with me. But these were my younger formative years. And then I got with a girl that was 5 years older than me. And I never ever had a girl that catered to my ego and my needs. And that shit was strange to me, Doug. It was weird. It was kind of uncomfortable. Like, you got a woman that just massages you and talks to you and caters to you, feeds you and sex you. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Like, this shit is creepy. Like, why are you doing all this stuff for me? Like, start something, argue, fight with me or something. Like, don't suck my dick. Tell me no. Like, don't be mean to me. Why you being so nice to me? That shit was weird. I've never had that. But in all the things that she's done, it still was never enough. Now, does that make me a bad person? No. Does that make her a sucker? No. It was all part of growth. Just because you with a person, they do all these intangibles, don't mean that that's the person that you're supposed to be with either. It was a part of my growth growing up to get me. See, I met my wife, Sci-Fi, at the very time I was supposed to meet my wife. With all the baggage that I had and with all the baggage she had, we collided. Boom! And we was trying to figure this thing out on the fly. And the majority of you guys are in relationships where you think you know what you want, but you don't even know what you want. You think. You don't even know what your requirements are. You can get on this YouTube and say, "Hey, I want a girl with a job, and I want a girl with a that don't talk back so much, and I want a girl." And these are the things that you can say off the top. But in your psychological evaluation, what is it that you require? Not what you want. What is it that you require? See, Sci-Fi, you got to ask yourself, what is it that Sci-Fi requires for herself before she even get a man? Based off of her upbringing, which made her who she is. Because when you understand that, are you capable of making that man happy that you're going to be with? Doug, are you capable of making that woman happy? See, because it's unfair when you don't understand what it is that you require. What it is that George Macon requires to make me see my wife with both my eyes and not one. With one eye looking at her and the other eye looking over her shoulder. See, what is it that I require that when I see my wife, I see her with both eyes and not just one? Because the other eye is looking over her shoulder at the big booty woman behind her. What is it that I require? And you have to look back. If you say, well, I've been molested before, you have to deal with that. I have abandonment issues. I was abused. My father left. My mother left. I'm an habitual cheater. You have to address and deal with all those things and come to terms with this is who I am, but this is not who I want to remain. So in order for me to change this, I have to embrace it first, understand who I am to go out to make the proper changes before you even think about taking on a me. And if you're not doing these things, you're going to get in a relationship and you're going to find a relationship being hell where neither one of you are bad people. You just never took the time to find out what it was that you required before you could take down the weight, to pick up more weight to carry. So now you're carrying too much that you can bear, because now you're carrying that person's bullshit when you never got over your bullshit to be able to cater to their bullshit. So I had to find out what my bullshit was to cater to my wife's bullshit to bring out the best in my wife. And my wife had to figure out her bullshit to be able to cater to my bullshit to bring out the best in me. How many of y'all in relationships when y'all bring out the worst in each other other than when you're having sex? Because you never looked at yourself in the mirror, Naima, and said, I got a fucking problem. The problem ain't him, the problem is me. How many of y'all guys and girls looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm a fucking whore. I give my husband trouble, but I'm fucking a nigga on a job. And before I got with my husband, I was cheating on my other boyfriend with that nigga. And I was cheating on my other boyfriend with that nigga. I'm embracing it now. I'm recognizing my faults. I'm recognizing my shortcomings. And now I want to change. And when you be able to make those changes, you be able to look at yourself in the mirror and stand up and stand upright and walk with your chin up in the air, knowing that now you're not blaming the world. You're not blaming nobody else. You're blaming yourself. Now you can begin to make the changes to be a better fucking partner. Because just because you was a whore, you made mistakes, don't mean that your life is over. It don't mean that you're a bad person. But you will inflict pain on other people if you don't recognize your own faults and shortcomings and deal with those things. And you will blame some of you in relationships, and you blaming your partners for your own shortcomings. Well, I only cheated on you because you wasn't there for me. Well, I only cheated on you, bitch, because you wasn't doing this. No, motherfucker, you cheated on every woman you ever had. And deep down, internally, you looking for your mother in these women. Deep down internally, you're looking for your mother in these women. And late in the midnight hours, you praying to the Most High to send you a good woman, but the Most High already sent you a good woman. But you don't even understand the spirituality that you're using. See, y'all don't want this truth. Y'all don't want this truth. Y'all don't want Bishop George to give you this truth, man. Give you this truth. You know, down here, y'all at the Church of George Macon, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It's not about this physicality, this physical. It's about knowing yourself. Knowing yourself. Admitting your short. How many of y'all out there want to admit your shortcomings? How many girls out there will look at herself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm a fucking whore. I'm a whore. And I don't want to be a whore no more. I'm going to have to do something about this. There was a period of time when I used to put my hands on women. And I knew that wasn't me. I never seen my father ever strike a woman, but I seen my uncle do it. And I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I said, this ain't George. How did I get here? I'm not a woman beater. I don't want to hit no woman. And what I had to do, but see, I'm being 100% transparent with y'all. I had to go and make the changes. But I had to first find out, where is that anger streak in me that would make me want to strike a woman in the first place? Where is that coming from? It's not because she got a big mouth. It's not because she's a hoe. It's something inside of me that I have to deal with. In order for me to fix it, I had to look at myself. And once I went inside and took inventory of my own self, I began to find out that I had mommy issues. And I began to find out that I had rage and I had anger. And I've been on trial for different things because of anger, because I had mommy issues. And me and my daddy didn't get along. and I had anger issues. And whether it was a woman, anybody got in my path or my challenge, they was going to be in trouble. It was going to be a problem. And once I recognized that, I never put my hands on a woman ever again. Because it's like that spirit came inside of me, man, and I began to invoke the power of the Most High. And a lot of things that I used to do, I couldn't do no more. A lot of the money in the street, things began to change. And that's when I started to go into the church. And I would sit in the back of the church and I would just cry. And I would ask the Most High to forgive me for all the things that I've been through and did. I would ask the Most High to bless the children of men that may have lost their lives in the streets and things that I may have been around and things like that. And I felt bad. You know, I had to change. I had to do self-reflection. I had to understand who I was in order to be a better father to my children, in order to be a better husband, in order to be a better me. But most of y'all are in relationships with people that look that you like instead of the partner that you should be. You're in relationship with people that you like, but see, the thing is, Doug, what you like is skewed because you have never looked yourself in the mirror and really dealt with your issues. If you never really dealt with your issues and understand what it is that you want, what it is that you need, then what you like is going to be skewed. See, because what you like has a tendency to change when you begin to change. You begin to choose better when you do better. A lot of you are in relationships probably with good people, but you keep overlooking them for something that you like because you're fucked up. We got a lot of undiagnosed traumas in the black community that's never been dealt with. And a lot of my people out here have a lot of trauma and it's never been dealt with. And some of you know you have issues, but you refuse to go get the help that you need. For fear of embarrassment, for fear of if you say you've been molested, especially a lot of you women, you don't want to get that person hurt. Guys, you don't want the world to know the things that you've been through in your life, but it's affecting your everyday life now as an adult, and you have to do it. So I wanted this live stream to teach. I wanted to come and teach and be informative, and I wanted to use myself as an example in my marriage and my wife. Me and my wife went through a lot of shit, man. To technologies, we went through a lot of shit because we didn't know ourselves, man. We didn't know ourselves. We knew the things that we liked, but we didn't know ourselves. So a lot of things that we liked was wrong. And it took me to have to go inside myself in order to understand how the proper way I had to cater to my wife's issues. My wife had to deal with her own internal shit to understand how she would be able to cater to me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's some women on here that say they've been molested. There's a brother on here say he was molested by his big sister and he couldn't get with his wife. And I'm trying to tell you, I felt abandoned by my mother. So I could never give a woman my heart or my proper love. And once I recognized that shit, I was able to embrace, because every time my wife would do something, I'd be like, man, this shit phony. This bitch is being fake. She only doing this shit. She only doing this shit to try to in my mind, that's what I would tell myself. So no matter what she would do was never good enough. Naima, you messing with Doug. And these are the things that we got to do. Naima, you married. You got to have these conversations with your husband. My brother that was in there that said that he was molested by his older sister. You got to have these conversations with your wife. You can't be afraid to have no conversations with your wife. Listen, I told my wife, Naima, I told my wife, watch this, Naima. I told my wife that I felt like no other woman loved me. Oh, you divorced now? Okay. Look, Naima, I told my wife that I felt like no other woman loved me more than my ex, not my wife. I had the heart to say that to my wife. And I told my wife, I said, I don't want you to take that the wrong way because I'm not saying I want to go sleep with this woman. But in order for us to move forward, we need to have this conversation. I never felt loved by you the way I did by her because I never understood you. Because I was so wrapped up in my own shit, I could never cater to your issues to understand you. So I could never get the love that you may have been trying to give me. Even though I wanted you enough to marry you and be around you, and I left that girl who I felt loved by to be with somebody that I didn't feel loved by. But that was because the universe, what I asked for, was lining up, and the Most High sent me my wife. But I had to learn how to be a man and what it was to have a wife. My wife had to learn how to be a wife and what it is to cater to a man's needs. Because she never knew how to. She knew how to have sex with a man, but she never knew how to cater to a man's needs. I knew how to dick a woman's down, but I never knew how to cater to a woman's needs. Now, who'd you say, Doug? Naim, I haven't figured what's my issue. I'm being serious, but most women don't take me seriously in a relationship. They want me for sex or to play the side nigga. But see, you have to ask yourself, Doug, why do these women see you that way and select you that way? It's not the women. It's something inside of you that you have to deal with and understand why you're being selected like that. That's something that you have to look at yourself in the mirror and look back into your life and look at some things that you may overlook or put behind you or cover up. These are all internal issues that you reflect outward. See, these are things. See, I'm preaching again, Bishop George. These are things, Doug, that you reflect outward that the world can see that you can't see because you're blinded to it because you put it behind you. You have to go back into it to yourself and deal with the pain of your past to understand where you're coming from, to understand why you're magnifying this out to the world. Because the angry woman syndrome, when people see these women are angry and she's reflecting anger to the world, where she might say, I'm not angry, I'm not mad, but you're reflecting anger to the world because you have internal things inside of you that you've never dealt with, that's never been dealt with, that's never been put past you, whereas though you don't see it because it's your everyday life, but the world sees it. Nobody wants to be around you. Everybody's careful when they're around you. They're careful when they talk to you because you have an evil, nasty disposition about yourself because you have things in your past that pains you that you never dealt with. And everybody can see it but you. These are the things that women go through, but men tend to jump from bed to bed to bed to bed, searching for an affection or a femininity from a woman that they never got as a child. And they're searching for it. But even when they see it, they don't know what it looked like because they never had it. And this is the community. This is why men seek pleasure from a woman, but he's really seeking the affection of a woman. He's seeking that invisible affection that he's never gotten. And even when it's smacking him in the face, he overlooks it or he mistreats it because it's weird to him. Why you being too nice to me? I'm waiting for something bad to go wrong. She's catering to my needs. She's catering to my ego. She's not a problem. Just the mere fact that she's not a problem lets you know, is in your mind, that's a problem. Yeah, that's me. That's me and my uncle. That man in the white suit is the one that gave me my stock. Yeah, that's me. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. But see, you would have to ask the question, why do these women love side niggas? These women love side niggas because the side nigga's easy. She doesn't have to give her heart. She doesn't have to put down her baggage. She doesn't have to look inside herself and have to cater and deal with her issues to cater to a man. So a side nigga is easy. A side nigga, she could just give up her coochie. A side nigga, she doesn't have to She doesn't have to deal with her own internal issues to put down baggage to cater to a man's ego so she can be happy. So a side nigga's easy. A side bitch is easy. Because being in a relationship that you want to sustain, you have to look at yourself in order to maintain something that will keep you happy. But you have to go into pain. You have to go into the deep end of the water. And a lot of y'all don't want to go into the deep end of the water. Because there was a period of time in your life when you was drowning and nobody was there to save you. And you built this barrier up. You built this barrier up where you thought it was your protection. I think it's because I always been the other side. It's creeping side, so I've always stayed. I don't trust them. See, this is the thing. I'm going to read it. I think it's because I've always been the other side to women. That's creeping, the creeping side. So I've always stayed away from relationships. I don't trust them. I know what they're capable of. But see, this is the thing. What difference are you than them, Doug? What are you capable of? But this is the thing, Doug. You have to ask yourself, Brother Doug, why do you think that way? Where does that way of thinking come from? And why are you comfortable being like that? What are you running away from? What are you hiding from inside of you that you don't want to deal with in order to make you be different? And why do they see that in you before you even show up? This is what you got to ask yourself, Doug. What makes you any different from the women that you don't trust? Doug, what it really is, you don't trust yourself, Doug. It's not that you don't trust them. Because you're making a conscious decision, Brother Doug, to deal with these women in this way. But why? See, because the Most High, Doug, may send you the right, virtuous, and pious woman, and you will miss it. But see, Doug, you have to go back to your childhood. Look at the relationship with your mom, relationship with your aunties, your sisters, the women in your life, the relationships that you had. What are those relationships like that formulated the way you think and your experiences today? You have to take inventory of who you are, Doug, and where you came from to formulate why you think that way. I have a question. What makes a man a coward to approach women? That could be a whole. There's no one question, one answer to that. It could be many different things. I don't deal with them. They will lie, take their rings off. You're right. But see, guess what, Doug? So will men. Men will lie, take their. I've taken my ring off at times. I've done that shit. They will lie, take their rings off, and say they're single. Doug, we're men. We do the same shit. So women are emulating what they see their fathers do. Daughters are emulating what they see their fathers do. They're doing everything that we're doing, Doug. So what I'm saying is, where does it come from? So, these are the questions in the conversations we should be having. Yeah. These are the questions and the conversations that we should be having, man. Time is it? And the conversations that we should be having, man. See, a lot of times people, they go on and they talk this dating coach stuff and all this stuff, man. Listen, man. If you go see a dating coach and they're not talking to you about you and you're and the things that you require, the things that you require for you, not financially, psychologically, the things that you've been through growing up and what you saw that formulates the way you think. Because see, Doug, see 267 technologies, see Naima, Sci-Fi, what you've been through and who you are, what you've been through and your experiences, places you've been formulates the way you think. And sometimes going into relationships, you may have to alter the way you think because everybody didn't come up right. Everybody ain't been to the right places. Everybody ain't had the right people in their lives. So the way you think is off. The way you think is bad. The way you think is not good. But you still may be pretty, sexy, and all these different things. And somebody's wifing you up. Somebody's husbanding you up. But you ain't ready to be wife to husband. You are an unfinished product. You are damaged goods that needs to be fixed. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about. And this is why you see what you see out here today, Naima, in these relationships. So what I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. But I just wanted to just, Bishop George, just wanted to come and talk to y'all, man. Yeah, well, we all lie. We all lie, man. We all lie at times to get close to the things that we want, the things that we think we need, man. Lying is normal. It happens. But the thing is, we got to stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop lying to ourselves, man. You with this woman and she's a good woman and you cheating on her every night. Is this the woman this your ideal woman? Is this the woman you want to be with? Why are you lying to this woman and lying to yourself? That's what's up. 267 Technologies. You guys have just been in the church of Bishop George. And I just wanted to just come and drop this game and give y'all some knowledge, man. Are you with the girl that you like? Or you with the girl that you should be with? Are you taking special personal inventory within yourself? Are you looking at the things that you require psychologically in order to make that person happy, his or her? Or are you just doing you? And whenever they make you mad, you just go out and fuck somebody else. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. So remember, I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator most high that these words is enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information, and when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. You share it all over the world. Have this conversation with your woman. Have this conversation with your man. Have this conversation with your grown-up kids. Have this conversation on the job. Have this conversation with your best friend. Have this conversation everywhere. Share it all over. It's a conversation that needs to be had. You need the requirements. What are your requirements? Have you taken the proper inventory of self in order to understand that what you need in order to maintain and sustain the relationship? Have you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I am this person, and in order for me to have the things that I require and want in life, I have to change this aspect of me. The Most High has sent me all the things that I need. The Most High has answered all the prayers. But do I have the understanding of spirituality in order to see it? Do I see the blessings that the Most High have sent me? Or am I continually praying and overlooking my tomorrows and overlooking my blessings that the Most High has sent me for the worldly things that I desire? Am I learning to look past my desires and looking more to what I require and what I need? Am I looking past my desires and looking more to what I require and the things that will be good to me and for me? Things that I can sustain. But in order to get that, am I willing to look at myself in the mirror and look at my own shortcomings? Am I able to look at myself and say, hey, at this point in my life, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a whore. I'm a bad person. I hate women. I'm a drug dealer. I'm a cheater. I'm all of these things. And I have to embrace these things to understand where it came from. How I became this person in order to make the proper change, to walk down that road, that I would be able to walk down that road, to have the things that I require and the things that I want to maintain it, to have it built on solid rock, where it be built to last. Not me jumping from bed to bed to bed, to ass to ass to ass. Not me pulling my skirt down for every man that smiles at me because he looks good. But he's not able to give you what you require long term. Am I able to do that? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. Stop blaming your partner for your own shortcomings. Stop blaming your partner for the fact that you picked up more baggage than you could handle because you never took inventory of yourself to lay down some baggage before you picked up hers. You cannot cater to your wife's issue if you never dealt with your own. You cannot cater to your husband's issues and his ego if you never dealt with your own issues to understand the requirements that he needs. How can you cater to your husband's requirements if you never dealt with your own? How can you cater to your wife's requirements if you never dealt with your own? I love y'all. To the next time. Peace.